Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If this is the first time you're watching this, I do movie reviews. I'm going through every single movie ever made and doing a review in alphabetical order. I've got this list on Wikipedia, it's got 65,000 movies on it. This is episode number 8. This week's movie is 1 Mile to You. Watching this movie was the hardest thing I've ever had to do for this channel. This movie is so fucking boring. It's the most boring movie I've ever watched. I hated it. So there's roadworks going on outside. I'm really sorry. I hope that's not too loud. Anyway, this movie is about a kid who runs. He's in the track team in his high school. He's a 26-year-old teenager who's an American high school student, and he runs in his track team, and he's going to like a track thing with his team, and then his coach is there and his best friend and his girlfriend, and they all die when the bus they're in drives off a bridge, except for our main character, obviously. And it was then and then I realized that it's not a rom-com like I thought it was. It's just a straight up romantic movie, which is somehow even worse. It's meant to be like a drama or something, but like, fuck, I just don't care about this kid at all. He spends the whole movie being really like mopey and emotional, which is like fair enough. I mean, teenagers are like that, and he's just like experienced major loss, so yeah, fair enough. But I don't want to fucking watch this. This is so dull. The whole movie's about running, so he sort of deals with his grief by running. He keeps running, he runs really fast, he enters multiple running competitions, and he has a running coach who's like, you gotta beat the champion state final, win the gold. What the fuck even is a running coach anyway? What are they gonna tell them? To run really fast? You don't need a coach for that. So there's a girl that likes him, so it's sort of a romantic movie, but the girl who likes him, his new girlfriend, who happens to look exactly like his old girlfriend, which is pretty weird, badly cast, because she looks the same anyway. She's barely in this fucking movie. She doesn't do much. They just hang out, they like each other, which is nice, and guess what, they end up together at the end, so that's cool. But that's not even like what the movie's about. I guess it's just about this one kid, his emotional maturity or whatever, him growing up and getting over his... when I watch movies for this series, I try and like give them my complete attention. You know, I'm not like scrolling through my phone or like playing Mario games on my DS when I watch these movies. I'm like trying to pay attention the whole time, but this movie was fucking impossible. It took me like 7 hours to watch this damn movie because I watched like 10 or 20 minutes of it, and I had to pause it and do something else because I was like bored out of my mind. What else? Oh yeah, so the bus flies off the bridge and they all die. And that's the one thing I liked about this movie. Not the scene of them all dying, but it's sort of a reoccurring image they use of this bus. Because this kid, he runs really fast, and then when he gets his runner's high from being really tired and, you know, the runner's high thing, he starts having like flashbacks or whatever, or he feels like he's still with his dead girlfriend and whatever. And so that's why he runs really hard. And also when these sort of flashbacks happen, he sort of has visions of this bus. So throughout the movie, the bus shows up sometimes, and it's actually kind of cool occasionally. Because they do kind of like weird surreal things where he's just like lying in bed, and then the bus drives past, and you're like, whoa, how'd they do that? And then in the final race, spoilers, he's running a big race and he wins, and he sees the bus like driving around on the track. It's like a really simple thing to film. Oh, not that simple, but it was neat. It's sort of a cool way of seeing him, you know, reliving that moment and thinking about it, and it looks pretty cool. But it was not a rewarding viewing experience. Oh yeah, and he was having a holding your breath competition at the bottom of a pool, and then he hallucinates the bus falling on him. I liked that scene a lot. But yeah, this movie fucking sucks. Terrible. I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 4 stars. Because, Jesus Christ, I was so bored. I've already said that. I'm repeating myself now. Let me see what else I got. I've just written down in here the worst joke ever. Forget checking Twitter, this movie had me scrolling through my LinkedIn. That's not funny. Also, I just said that I wasn't getting distracted, so I can't even use that terrible joke. Forget I said that. Alright. Fuck it, that'll do. I'm done talking about that movie. And because no one watches to the end of these videos anyway, I might as well just put in some random shit that has nothing to do with that movie or any movie. I'm just gonna talk about something else now. Hey gamers. This is recorded later in the day. The construction crew have gone home now. And this is the something else I wanted to talk about. I'm gonna be showing you my game development. I'm making a game, sort of. I might make this a recurring segment where I show my progress in that week, because I used to make games a lot, and like the past couple of months I've just done fuck all because I got a full-time job and shit. Anyway, let me tell you about the game I'm gonna make. This is Unreal Engine 4. It's a nice thing to make your games in. And I want to make a walking simulator with like no gameplay at all. That's one of my favorite kinds of games. I love exploring in games, so that's what you're gonna do in my game. So I've just started a default first-person game in UE4 and deleted the gun, so you just walk around and look at things and that's it. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so what kind of game am I gonna make? Well, I just told you about the walking simulator thing. So there's no gameplay, and also I've got a little gimmick in mind. Let's put this character here. So, oh, hold on a sec. Alright, here's the gimmick for my game, right? So you can see this room is pretty small. So we walk through this corridor, right? We go into this room, and nothing happens. Then we walk back, and look, this room is different now. So I want to make a game where you're stuck in a small place, and you go to one side of it, and then when you've walked to the end, you can walk back, and then the bit you just walked through was different. And then you keep going back and forth between two areas. That makes sense, and it keeps changing. And so I started making the level for this game. That's just a little proof of concept to switch out these different areas. So here's what I've started to make. You might recognize this. It's my flat from real life. There's my fire extinguisher. There's my terrible kitchen. Here's my mantelpiece with my teddy bear and my Donkey Kong DVD. So yeah, I'm gonna make it my flat, and you're like in my flat. It's not gonna be too detailed. I'm gonna do like a PS1 game kind of graphics thing, because that's very trendy right now. Also, I'm not gonna, individually model all this furniture and shit. So you start in my kitchen, and then you walk upstairs and into my bedroom, which I haven't made yet. And then you go in my bathroom, which is through the door here. And then when you're in the bathroom, the downstairs changes. So when you leave the bathroom and go downstairs, suddenly you're in a different place, and it's surreal and strange and weird. I haven't decided at all what's going to be down here, but it's going to be different. And then when you cross this line, I think, then the upstairs is going to change. So now you walk up here and you're in a different place, and you go into the bathroom again, and then in the kitchen again, and it keeps cycling through different stuff. So that's my idea for the game. I was a bit afraid of doing my own flat because it's a bit self-referential and a bit wanky. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but I've played indie games where they've like remade their own bedroom, and it's like, wow, you think it's so interesting and cool. You think I want to see your fucking room with your copy of like PS2 games, but hopefully it'll still make sense and it won't be too obvious what it is. Like it's not an ego thing. I don't exactly know what I'm talking about. Don't know if that makes sense to anyone. Anyway, it was fun trying to make this. It was hard to get all the measurements right. I keep walking around my house with a tape measure and seeing how big things are. I need to make the sofa at my desk, but it's not going to be too detailed, so Oh yeah, I need to do all these textures, because these are just placeholders from my old game. I need to do nice textures, and the idea is we can swap out all the textures. Like in one of my favorite games, LSD Dream Emulator, it has like different sets of textures that it changes between when the game gets strange, and it keeps changing the textures. That's not a very good explanation of that game. But if you've played it, you know what I mean. You should play that game if you haven't, it's really good. It's on the PlayStation 1. It's called LSD Dream Emulator. Not simulator, it's emulator. Anyway, that's enough wittering about video games. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of this movie review. And join me next time where we'll be reviewing one something. It starts with a 1. Okay, bye everyone.